You ever notice how every conversation about generations turns into a debate about boomers, millennials, or Gen Z? It's like we zoom in on the loudest groups in the room, but there's this entire generation sitting quietly in the background. Generation X. Born between the mid-60s and around 1980. They're not trending. They're not performing online. They're not demanding attention. And that might be exactly the point, because psychologically, Gen X was shaped by something most people today don't fully understand. Absence. Not dramatic trauma, not constant supervision. Absence. Millions of them grew up coming home to empty houses. Both parents working. No texting, no tracking, no, "I saw you got home safely." You let yourself in. You made your own snack. You handled whatever happened until someone came back. That kind of childhood rewires you. You learn quickly that no one is hovering. No one is cushioning the consequences. If you mess up, you deal with it. There's no buffer. And when discipline came, it was direct, immediate, final. There wasn't much discussion about feelings or processing emotions. There were rules. You crossed them, you paid. That creates a very specific psychological environment, one where cause and effect feel immediate and real. It trains you to think ahead, not in a dramatic way, in a survival way. At the same time, Gen X grew up watching institutions wobble. They saw marriages fall apart at record levels. They saw adults promise stability and then lose jobs overnight. They saw authority figures make catastrophic decisions on national stages. They were told, "Play by the rules and you'll be fine." Then they watched the rules change, so they adapted. Some call it pessimism, but it's not hopelessness, it's controlled expectation. They hope things work out, maybe they prepare for when they don't. That's not cynicism, that's pattern recognition. And it explains something else. Why they're quieter online. It's not that they don't understand technology. They helped build the early internet. But they grew up in a world where mistakes faded. You did something embarrassing, a few people knew. Then it disappeared into memory. There wasn't a permanent archive. So, the idea of broadcasting your entire life doesn't feel empowering to them. It feels exposed. To Gen X, privacy isn't secrecy, it's safety. Their humor reflects that too. Sarcasm, irony, a certain emotional distance. When you grow up with Cold War anxiety in the background, nuclear drills treated like routine procedures, you learn to hold tension without panicking. You learn to laugh before it hurts. Work shaped them deeply as well. Many of them started working young. Real responsibility, real consequences, not curated resume builders. Actual jobs where people depended on you. They didn't build loyalty to companies. They built loyalty to capability. If the system fails, your skill is what remains. That's why they respect competence over hierarchy. Titles mean nothing. Can you actually do the job? If yes, you'll earn their respect instantly. If not, they will see through it immediately. There's also a paradox in Gen X psychology. They are intensely independent, but quietly reliable. They won't ask for help easily. They learned early that self-sufficiency was the safest route. Yet, when someone else is in trouble, they show up. No announcement, no performance, no post about it, just action. Economically, they were hit repeatedly at transitional moments in life. Some entered adulthood during recessions. Others built careers just in time to watch markets collapse. After enough cycles, you stop assuming stability. You diversify. Not because it's trendy, because unpredictability feels normal. Research even shows they're less likely to seek social support during stress. Not because they lack support, but because asking feels uncomfortable. Dependency was never rewarded in their early environment. Even the way they learned shaped them. Before instant answers, information required effort. You searched, you waited, you dug. When knowledge costs time and friction, it sinks deeper. They learned to fix things physically, to troubleshoot, to experiment. There's a belief embedded in that generation. If something breaks, you try to repair it first. Now they're raising children in a radically different world. Constant supervision, constant visibility, constant documentation. They gave their kids what they didn't have, attention. But sometimes they worry whether resilience gets lost when friction disappears. Because in their framework, visibility increases vulnerability, and boredom builds strength. Generation X isn't superior to other generations, but they occupy a strange historical position. They remember the analog world. They adapted to the digital one. They function between eras. They are the bridge. And bridges don't advertise themselves. They don't trend. They don't shout. They carry weight quietly. And maybe the most Gen X trait of all is not caring whether anyone notices. If you found value in this, you know the drill. Subscribe, like, or just go back to work. We'll know you were here.